Good morning. Sawadee Kop to everybody. Big shout out there to Zach. Thanks a lot for the pre. Oh, what is this? That's sweat. Oh, yes, it is. For the pre-stream donation. Thank you very much. Let's see what's going on today. Well, you know, there's always a lot going on. But first, the Thai baht has been up and down the last couple of days. Yesterday it went as high as 31.97, or as low, if you want to put it that way, to the US dollar, as 31.97. I thought for a minute it was going to go over 32, but right now it's 31.77. And as far as the weather goes, it's a little cooler, but it's still a little too hot. 49 on the air quality index. 88 degrees out right now. 93 is the high today, supposed to be. 81 is the low. 10% chance of rain. Winds 7 miles an hour. Humidity is 61%, and therein lies the key to it being a little cooler. If you can keep the humidity at 60% or below, it tends to be a little bit cooler. But the feel like temperature right now is 93 degrees. So, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:03 in the morning, 9:04 in the morning. So today we're going to talk about how Bangkok is on the verge of being locked down again. There's some arguments going on as to whether or not it should be locked down again. Yesterday, it seemed as if it was right there on the verge, it was going to happen, and then there was a meeting, and they decided no, not right this minute, and now they're talking about it again, and they're considering it, and the reason is because yesterday there were 51 deaths. I think it was 4,104 people, something like that, and 51 deaths, which is the highest ever in one day in Bangkok. So some interesting things go on, but before I get into that, please remember to smash that like button, crush it, hit it as hard as you can. If you're not subscribed already, I would appreciate it if you did. You can click the notification bell, or you don't have to, up to you, as they say here. And everything's in the description. I'm not going to get into it. Listen, you want a shirt? I don't hate people. I just feel better when they're not around. You want an American in Bangkok shirt? You want the newest one, which is the This is Thailand shirt. Actually, it's not real new, but it's new onto this platform with the YouTube. I used to sell it, and for some reason, I don't know why it hasn't been up, but I just put it up the other day, and now it's been reviewed and approved. It's online. You can just go right down below. If you're in North America, you can go right down below, and you can figure everything out. I think we got most of the time we have some fairly intelligent people here. So, you know, very simple. Thank you very much, though. A 16-year-old girl, good morning, Propellerhead. A 16-year-old girl in my neighborhood got carted away last week in an ambulance, COVID positive. Now, for those of you who watch, you know that I've done 2 recent videos about Bangkok Market. Bangkok Market, good morning, Carlos. Bangkok Market was shut down on May 19th. It was shut down for 3 days. After the 3 days, they determined that there was still too great a risk. They shut it down until June 7th. No, it was June 2nd. June 2nd, sorry. June 2nd. On June 2nd, they said, we're shutting it down for another 10 days. And so it was June 13th was the last day, and that's the first time I did the video, recent video. And So I thought, well, they're opening tomorrow. I'll go back tomorrow and see what's going on. I went back the following day. Sorry, we're shut for another week. Now it's been announced that Bangkok Market is shut down forever, permanently closed. A cluster was found here in Bangkok. I'm not quite sure if it was, I think it was 99 people in total, which is, you know, for a little, really, this is a relatively small area, Bangkok. I guess you could say that's a lot of people. I don't know, you know, what context the scientists and doctors view this, but it seems like it. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know where I stand at this point on this whole thing, because I'm really getting, I'm past even being fatigued. I'm in that zone now where I'm just kind of like cruising along. I'm in the Zen zone when it comes to this COVID. And the situations with all the governments around the world and how they're treating people. And you know, listen, you're not being treated poorly here, or at least I haven't been. But there are some things that are definitely frustrating and definitely irritating. So let me get into, there's a couple of articles I wanted to talk about. Now, obviously, Phuket is supposed to open up in about 6 days. It's going to open. I do believe it'll open. They're not going to shut it down. And the Tourist Authority of Thailand just announced that there are 1,500 travelers arriving on July 1st. Now, if you do the multiplication, let's see, 1,500 people came every day. That's 45,000 in a month, 30-day month. 45,000 times 3 is 135,000. So that beats their 129,000 projection. I sort of don't, I'm not going to do your multiplication, don't worry. I try to keep the stream a little bit clean, a little bit classy. At least I try. So that's something else here. Now, I'm anxious to see what goes on here. 2 people walked in. They're sitting right next to each other. There's no social distancing here, and yet that's what they do generally push, that people have to sit apart from each other. So I'm waiting to see what happens. I don't know that they're going to make that projection. I mean, if they did, I guess maybe it's a low projection when you think about it. I don't know. When I look at the poll on my channel, which shows Sort Out Cowboy, there you are, alive and well. When I look at this poll, and it's like 8% of people, let me see here, I can tell you right now. Well, I guess if you were dead and not well, you wouldn't be in the stream right now. See, my logic is flawless. This is on Sunday night I put this up. Is a trip to Phuket in July, August, or September in your plans? Will you make the trip? Only 7% said they are there. Now, 137 votes is not all that many votes. 30% said no way, it's a hassle. 37% said I'll wait, the less fuss is the better. And 26% said I'll go elsewhere. Listen, Longhorns has gone back and forth for various reasons, but he's gone back and forth, you know, does he really want to come over here? It's a hassle. It's a hassle. And they're not making it hassle-free, okay? That's the only way I know how to put it. They're not making it hassle-free. And they've got this attitude here that being drunk or being under the influence of alcohol causes people to be more sloppy about their social distancing. Now, I don't know that Thais are all that great about social distancing. I got people walking up behind me in 7-Eleven, in Starbucks. They're right next to me. And sometimes I want to go, dude, like, I don't care if there is no vaccine. like back off a little, give me a little space, But personal space is different here than it is in some other countries. That's what I'll say. But they are not, I don't think they're going to open up any bars. They're saying that people who are drunk or people who drink too much, people who are under the influence, can lead to behavior that may increase the risk of COVID-19. Well, it very well may. But then I guess you could say, well, having sex is going to increase the risk of COVID-19. And so is sitting next to somebody. You sit next to somebody that's in your house, that lives in your house, and they happen to go out somewhere. They just happen to touch a surface. Just saying, they touch a surface. They touch their eye, they get it, they go back home. They're around you all the time. Next thing you know, you might have it. I don't even know what to think about this, but Thailand has that big brother, fatherly, we know what's best. Father knows best. That's what I'm going to call it from now. They have that father knows best mentality. They know better than you do. They don't trust the people, which, much like I don't trust the government, they don't trust me and, other people, other ordinary citizens. So, I kind of understand it, but then again, it's like the government needs to just chill out a little bit. They've become a little too hardcore about this. In the meantime, on another subject, there's a farm in Trat. This is right on the Cambodian border, and a flash flood led to crocodiles from a crocodile farm escaping, and now they're roaming around in the villages somewhere. There are 21 crocodiles at large. These are big crocs. These are not little baby crocs. These are at least 7-8 feet in length, perfectly capable of eating a dog or a small child or what have you. This is not the first time that this has happened. I don't understand how they don't think of these things in advance, but then again, this is a country of in the now, not necessarily of in the long term. So, just I wouldn't go to that area and just be hanging out trying to find crocs, because you might find one and you might be latched onto your ass cheek. Now, here we go again. It says now that the Thai government has finally approved the Tourism Authority of Thailand's plan to open Phuket without quarantine for vaccinated tourists on July 1st. And here are some of the stipulations. Okay. No, you must be fully vaccinated no less than 14 days earlier, but not more than 1 year, and you're arriving from a country with a low to medium risk, as per the Ministry of Foreign Health. They must be vaccinated with a vaccine that has been approved by Thailand's Food and Drug Administration or the World Health Organization. The list that so far covers AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, Sinovac, and Sinopharm. For expats and Thais who are not vaccinated, they have to pass a COVID test no more than 7 days prior and register at Go Phuket before arriving. Children under the age of 6 who are traveling with fully vaccinated parents or guardians can visit without vaccination. Those between 6 and 18 can visit without vaccination, but will be subject to a rapid test on arrival at their own expense. Flights are now available and you can transit in Bangkok. All arrivals must download and install a tracing application called Thailand Plus. All arrivals must stay in accommodation that is certified by the Amazing Thailand Safety and Health Administration Plus certification. Jesus Christ. Which includes full vaccination of 70% of the staff. You can move from one accommodation to another within the 14 days as long as they are certified. There are around 400 hotels that have signed up so far. After signing up for 14 days after staying for 14 days on the island, and if you pass your COVID test, you can visit other provinces. If you test positive while on the island, you will be moved to a hospital if you have symptoms, or a field hospital if you are asymptomatic. See, that right there is a big turnoff for me. Why would I want to go to Phuket if maybe I'm asymptomatic and they're telling me you got to go to a field hospital? I don't want to be in a field hospital for 2 weeks. If I'm asymptomatic, I'm probably going to stay that way. So you tell me, okay, you need to stay shut down in your locked down in your hotel. Can't go anywhere. But that's not what they're going to do. Listen, this is my logic. And of course, it's not always going to agree with theirs, but they are the final say. I'm just throwing it out there. Tourists can engage in any tourism activities, but they must follow COVID prevention guidelines, including social distancing, mask wearing, and hand washing. That's assuming that some of these activities are available. And even my wife said, listen, some of the temples are shut down because the monks don't want to get COVID any more than anybody else. Phuket reported 1 COVID case on June 10th. More provinces could be open to vaccinated tourists without quarantine in October, including Bangkok. This is what I mean. Are we open or are we closed? Are we going to shut down? Or are we going to be open? Or is October going to be A-OK? Chiang Mai, Prachuap Khiri Khan, Phetchaburi, Chonburi, Surat Thani, Krabi, Phang Nga, and Buriram. However, here's the caveat. However, 70% of the locals must be vaccinated first. Pre-arrival. Vaccine certificate to prove you are vaccinated no less than 14 days, no later than 1 year before arrival. Medical certificate to prove you have tested negative for COVID no more than 72 hours before arriving. Visa. Certificate of entry, booking confirmation for 14 days in an SHA and accommodation. SH. I need to drink some more coffee. SHA plus accommodation. This is the thing. You got to pay for at least 50%. You have to just pay all of it, or 50%. Depends on the location. Depends on the hotel. So that's another thing. I mean, like, I know that when I used to come here, I never reserved ahead of time. I just came here, walked in. Hey, you got any hotel rooms? It doesn't say anything about the insurance. But I believe that is what you need to get the certificate. Where is it? Yeah, I don't see anything about it. Medical certificate, vaccine certificate, certificate of entry. There you go. To get the certificate of entry, you're going to need the insurance. So there you go. That's what I was looking for. So, you know, it's a bit crazy what they want. I'm waiting to see how it pans out. Are we open? Are we closed? And like I said, there's a lot of people questioning, why would anybody go there? Now, many people have said to me, well, why is Longhorns going? What's he going to go to Bangkok for? I'm like, listen, Longhorns is not like everybody else, okay? He's not like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else. There are people that they don't give a shit. They just want to be here. They just want to come here. They'll stay in their hotel room. They're fine. And even if they weren't under quarantine, they might spend the first couple of nights in their hotel, not even really go anywhere aside from maybe to get some food. So, you know, for some people, it's not a big deal. And I guess you could say the same for those in Phuket. Now, Anutin Chanwirakun also said yesterday that he is still willing to listen to the pros and cons from the Center for COVID Situation Awareness, because they're the ones who suggested a lockdown. Then it was panned very quickly, and now they're mulling it over, which is really what they said. They just said no, not yet. The CCSA suggested the lockdown to control the capital's soaring infections, but it also admitted that it may cost workers their jobs and may spread the virus further if laborers head to their hometowns. So then what? Now you're going to say nobody can move around? This is the thing. We have to learn to live with this. And maybe, listen, maybe it's the start of another health craze, because it's one of the reasons that I thought I need to get myself into a little bit better shape. And, you know, the healthier you are, I would think the better chance you have to stave off this infection. Anutin, meanwhile, said he has discussed the issue with the Bangkok governor and was ready to support any step taken to control the spread of the COVID-19. He also said he will speak to the operator of Muang Thong Thani and ask for the Busarakam Field Hospital to be kept open for another 2 to 3 months. This is because most of the COVID-19 infections are in Bangkok and adjoining provinces. Of the 4,108 infections on Thursday, 1,359 were in Bangkok, followed by 297 in Samut Prakan, 259 in Samut Sakhon, 254 in Chonburi, 170 in Nonthaburi, and 157 in Pattaya. As for the 120-day countdown for the country's reopening, Anutin, I guess maybe it's pronounced like anus. Anutin said every aspect of the situation will be considered before the country opens to tourists. If the risk is still high, the opening may be delayed, he said. I don't think they have this master plot to keep everything shut down and to let the country go to shit. Phuket's in a bad way. Pattaya's in a bad way. Many places are in a bad way. You just go to Chatuchak. Just look at Chatuchak Market. Just look at some of these places. There's a lot of places they're just shut down now. Yes, and the U.S. State Department is now advising citizens to not travel to Thailand. Now, what I can tell you about that is, while I get their announcements, and I do take them into consideration, I'd say 80% of the time, I don't listen to them, because they're appealing to the masses. I could be wrong, but I think when it comes to traveling, I'm not your average, mom and pop who decides to jump on a plane. Well, let's go to Thailand. That's not me. You know what I mean? Like, I do extensive research. I've been to some of the places 50 freaking times. So I know, I go to Cambodia. Now, it's been a while since I've been to Cambodia or Myanmar, just because of the virus and because I went to Vietnam and I went to Hong Kong for 4 months. But if I was to go to Cambodia, after a couple of days, if I was in Phnom Penh, I could go down little streets. You wouldn't even know about them. And I'd go down there because I know, oh, this is where I took this one photo. I know this street. This is where the guy cut my hair or whatever it is. There are places around the country that, I'm pretty familiar with. So I feel comfortable. And I'd say that, the average Joe traveler who just wants to get a tour or something like that, they don't. And when they see a message come from this U.S. State Department, they're not going. And that could be devastating for Phuket. I don't know. I think that the majority of people coming to Phuket are going to be Europeans. But I could be wrong. I'm just guessing, because that's who generally frequents Phuket. No idea on how to go, too complicated, but if I can find a travel agency that deals with the process, then I may decide to go. Shared U.S. but prefer Bangkok and Pattaya. Don't want to sit on a rainy beach, probably wait until October. Morning. So, we'll see what happens. With this Anatin, to me, he's a loose cannon. That's just what I see in the media. And, listen, the media can be wrong, but I don't think so in his case. Like I said, the TAT has announced that 1,500 travelers are arriving to Phuket on July 1st. Now, maybe there's a lot of people going, I'm going on July 1st. And then on July 2nd, July 3rd, there's not as many. I don't know. We'll see. The tourism promotion of the Tourism Authority of China is creating special programs for vaccinated Thais who come to Phuket. The tourism promotion launching in Phuket is called Hug Thai, Chai Thai, Hug Thai. Listen, I can tell you right now, most of the people I know, the Thais that I know, they're not going to Phuket. They're not running out and going to Phuket. They can go to Phuket anytime they want, and they don't give a shit. That's my opinion. The ones that I know, that's what they've told me. They laugh. They're like, please. What is this here? We're at 31.82. Yeah, I saw that it got up to 31.97. Before the stream, it was 31.77. Now I guess we're up to 31.82. I'm still hoping it goes over 32. Listen, I'm greedy. I hope it goes up to like 33.7. That way I'll feel good. If it just goes down a little bit, I know it's still above 33, and I do all my math, 33. 3 plus, I multiply times 3 plus 10%. It's very easy to figure out. I have to buy my luggage tomorrow. Last time I was there for months, I threw it away along with half my clothes. Why would you throw your luggage away? I don't get that. I got luggage, and then what I do is I always buy different sizes of luggage so I can put one inside the other, inside the other, inside the other. The one thing I have a lot of is bags. I got stuff like this. Bags, shoulder bags, backpacks. I got tons of them. I live here, but I only use like 2 of them. Greetings and felicitations. God, I always screw that up. I live here, no rush to go to Phuket. Can find better places to go when things are. That's about it. Listen, you're already in a what most people would consider a decent place, and you're there with your family. You can enjoy some of the beaches there. You don't have, it's not all about the nightlife for you. So, yeah, you can enjoy, the area. And listen, it's the same thing with me. It's like, listen, I don't know why I have a habit of saying listen all the time. Listen. Supposed to get vaccinated on a couple days here. Personally, I'm very apprehensive about it. But I'm gonna go ahead with it. I am gonna go ahead with it, and I'm doing so because I don't want them constantly questioning me when I go somewhere, and I know that that's going to happen. It's in the cards. If you think, and I'm not talking about just Thailand, I'm talking about everywhere. Everywhere in the world is going to adapt this. You don't have vaccination. You don't have vaccine. You don't have vaccine. You no go inside. Cannot. Besides, I got to get someone's lobsters ready. Thank you. Imagine if they opened up a Red Lobster here in Thailand. It would be the Sizzlers of seafood. Now, all right, let's see here. The kickoff bringing 1,500 people. Now, some of these people are, what did they say? They gave them they've invited 200 members of the media and these agencies to arrive throughout July. Okay. By the way, the barista of the day, they are new barista. One of them was here yesterday, and her name is Yu. And the other one I've never seen before, and her name is Nuke. So no Tien, no Creo, and no beer. And let me tell you something. Creo has talked to me yesterday and the day before a little bit about she is in the gym. And she's always been a little soft, a little, I don't want to say chubby, but just soft. Which, there's nothing wrong with soft. But she's been a little, not muscular, just kind of, I don't want to say flabby, that's the wrong way to put it, just kind of soft. But now she's in the gym, she's working hard, and it's paying off. That's what I'll say. It's paying off. For whatever reason, Beer looks like she has dropped a little bit of weight. She's looking good. Nice looking girl. Tien, and by the way, I saw her with her boyfriend the other night. Tien, I saw her with what I think is her boyfriend yesterday. But she's growing her hair out. It's like almost down to her waist. She's got long hair. You would never know it. So, listen, they're very friendly. They're nice looking girls. They got nice dispositions. All of them, I don't think they hire people here in Thailand. They don't hire people if they've got an attitude problem. I wouldn't be working I don't think, unless I could fake my way through the interview, I don't think I would ever get into Starbucks. I don't think they'd ever let me in. Did you say new barista? Yes, new, and I'm just gonna say no. I'm gonna tell her my name is Gennaro. I told Creo I was visiting soon, that's why. That's all anybody cares about. It seems like that. Oh, God. Well, listen, I did tell Beer that I had a friend coming to Bangkok, and he was a member of her fan club. So he was going to want to meet her. And that friend is Longhorns. So. Thank you very much, Mr. Sky Trooper. How you doing? For your next coffee. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Choke D. Choke D. Now, I wanted to just put it out there. First of all, I'll be telling the girls in Bangkok my name is Schlonghorns. I don't... I don't know if they would pick that up or not. I'm not sure. They may not. Oh, God, it's funny. Anyway, what was I getting at here? Oh, I'm working on something right now. Now, I want to still put up this Phuket video that I've been saying I'm going to put up for the last month and a half. I want to get that video up. I've got a little walking around video from Pantip here in Bangkok, the software shopping center, if you will, to show you just what's going on there. But I also have a couple of special guests. I've got Janie, a Thai bar girl, who wrote me and she would like to be on the show. And I said, okay. And we also have cousin Zed, Redneck Zed. And he'll be on also. He's American. He's American. So they should be on pretty soon. I'm not sure if they're going to want to have their faces shown or what they're going to do, but be on the lookout for that. That should be up pretty soon. And like I said, I'm going to be keeping these streams shorter. It's just something I feel like I want to do. I need to keep them shorter. They don't even need to be an hour and a half unless the stream is something really unique and special. They don't need to be. An hour is fine. Hour and 15, okay. But when you get to an hour and 30, we start getting a little bit long-winded, and unless there's a real reason, which is like I'm out on the street and I'm walking around, doing stuff like that. Yeah, well, my wife told me that Byfern would probably cost me more than I could come up with, anywhere near that I could come up with. So I don't think she'll be on the show. There is a girl that I would like to have on the show. She's on my Instagram. I'm not going to say who it is, but there is a girl I'd like to have on, and she's not such a big star like Byford. Yesterday, where was I? Where was I yesterday? I don't know if it was here. And I walked out, and right there was this picture of Byfern holding something, and it's like she is everywhere. She is the big star of the moment. And then there's another one, her name is like Kitty Cha-Cha or something like that. I can't remember. Let me see if I can find her. It's like Kitty Cha-Cha. I don't know where they come up with their nicknames. Wow, what is this? Wow. Let's see here. I put up a photo of me from a couple years ago, just before Hong Kong, a little bit before Hong Kong. And I'm getting back down in weight because I've been training a little bit. I've been really watching what I eat. And so far I've dropped 18 and a half pounds. And you may not be able to tell it yet because I'm right around my pre-COVID weight. But it's coming off nicely. I think I'm on to something, so I'm going to keep doing that. But let me see if I can find this Kitty Cha-Cha. Kitty Cha-Cha, or what's her name? Kitty Chicha. Her name is Kitty Chicha. She's got 3.7 million followers. And I don't know what her deal is. She's like an actress, model. She's the one you want to get. She looks a little edgier than Byfern. Although Byfern would be one hell of a coup to get her on. I admit it. I'm sorry, if I ever got Byfern on, that would be a members only stream, which means only members can comment. If you're not a member, you couldn't comment. You can watch, but you just can't comment. Because I wouldn't want, I wouldn't want any problems in that stream. She's a nice looking girl. Anyway. Byfern is not a guy. Now I got a little message the other day, and well, my friend doesn't go to any. She probably doesn't go to Starbucks all that much because she's got her own cafe, which I still need to go to. But this guy wrote me. He just left a little comment here. It says, "I love Thailand and had many wonderful experiences there. However, this chapter is closed." And that was in response to the question, is a trip to Phuket in July, August, or September in your plans? A lot of people have told me, you know what, it's just too difficult. They expect too much. Here's the thing, when you go to a vacation spot, you want something. You're there for a reason. This is what I've been saying. You go to Phuket, you want to go there, you want to relax, you want to have a great time. Some guys want to go and party, they want to go chase some tail. They don't come thinking, wow, I want to help Thailand and I'm willing to do anything to get there. Most people don't feel that way. They're very hesitant to just jump through all these hoops. And listen, you got to have an app on your phone, you got to have the wristband and stuff. Most people the wristband alone makes them go, what? I got to have that in on all the time? No, I'm not going. So I think the thing that Thailand is forgetting is that while they need the tourists, and while I understand that, you're pretty desperate to open up, and a lot of people, listen, I'm not opposed to helping them, a little bit by throwing them some business. But what am I going to get? What am I going to get? I'm going to get a place that's completely shut down. I can't even have a drink at? So what am I getting? I get to come to their country and hang out on the beach? Yeah, exactly. When I came here, the very first time that I came here, I didn't know what to expect. I wanted to check out the Muay Thai scene, and I wanted to check out, the tail, which I did. The Muay Thai scene, I checked it out, and then the next time, I started training with some of the guys. And when I moved here, I was training with some guys. And they were very good to me. They were really good to me. They really, helped me with language, with food, and they were really, really cool. But I quickly found out there wasn't a chance in hell that I was going to ever make any real money at it here or work my way to the top and become some champion. I knew it ain't going to happen. I'm too old. I'm not good enough. I got a lot of physical disadvantages compared to some of the other fighters, Not to mention that a lot of them start when they're, 7 years old, 8 years old, and by the time they're 18 or 20 years old, they've got, 150 fights under their belt. So reality is what it is, but, then it became, all right, well, this is a really cool place. It's not that expensive. And you know what? There's tons of chicks here. If you're a single guy and you're decent looking, you got a little bit of money in your pocket, you don't have to be filthy rich. You just have enough, you don't have to go out every night. You don't have to, party your ass off every night and stay up until 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. You don't have to do that. But, you want to go out a couple of times a week, 2, 3, 4 times a week, every other day or something like that. You want a few chicks rolling around in the, you want them in your phone book, call them up once in a while, you go meet with them. Very easy to do here. Then you learn a little bit of Thai and it becomes that much easier. Right, let me see if I can put this chick's... I went for the Starbucks. Gennaro, you know how many Starbucks I've been to? I didn't even know there was a Starbucks in Vietnam. I just stumbled upon that one. And then they had that special coffee maker, and I was like, son of a bitch, I love this place. But they had so many good coffee shops there that I just didn't need to go there. I went because it was cheaper. 1 week in Vegas or 3 in Thailand. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. I can't, listen, Vegas for me, I mean, I've been there many times. And, I've won some money, I've lost some money. I bet on fights when I was there. I used to go to all the fights. I've been to Tyson fights. I've been to Michael Carbajal. his championship fights. I met Bernard Hopkins there, met Sugar Ray Leonard, met Thomas Hearns, met, what was that guy's name? Son of a bitch. He fought Rocky Lockridge. What the hell was his name? Now it's going to bug me if I can't remember him. Wow. Rocky Lockridge was 210-8. You might remember Rocky Lockridge. He was a world champion. He knocked out Roger Mayweather in 1 round. And he was also addicted to drugs after his career. He was one of the guys in the Duva camp. He was very well known, very liked. He was a great fighter. And he got addicted to drugs. And then he was on intervention and he was crying because he had problems with his family and all this. And he lost a majority decision to Julio Cesar Chavez when Chavez was 52-0. So he lost a majority decision to Wilfredo Gomez, who was a great fighter. He fought some really good fighters, but I'm trying to think of that. Jesus Christ, I can't think of his name. He was a really good fighter himself. And anyway, I met him. It's gonna bug the shit out of me. I can't remember him. He's from Uganda. Good guy. Ayub Kululi, no. Shows you, my Cornelius Boza Edwards. Actually, he was pretty cool. I sat with him for about 15 minutes. Shot the shit with him. He was a nice guy. Anyway, you know, Vegas. That's the only reason I'd want to go to Vegas. Go for the fights, maybe see a show. You know, a little bit of 21 or craps, and other than that, I'd much rather come to Thailand. My 3rd trip is when I fell in love with the country, culture, and people. Yeah, I think it was my 2nd or 3rd trip. It was when, for me, really, it was when I went up to Chiang Mai, and from Chiang Mai, I took a mini bus. I was on a tour. Took a mini bus up to Chiang Rai, and then I went with about 5 people, and we got in this longtail boat, and went up this river, which I don't have the name of the river in my head, but I have it written down somewhere. I could find it out real easy. But it was like the Mamping or something like that. And I took a trip up the river, and then we got off and we went into the Golden Triangle up on an elephant. We all had our own elephants, and we stopped in this little village, and they were like offering us opium. It was a crazy little place, but that's when I was just like, man, this is so cool. How many people get to do this? I mean, a lot of people don't do it one time in their life. Maybe they do it once in their lifetime. But I was like going, man, I can do this. This is why I love traveling, you know? There's always something new that you can find to do. All right, let me see something here. Now, the World Health Organization has confirmed that Sinovac, Thailand is going to get 100 million doses by the end of the year. So they're going with the Sinovac. That's the big one. You want another one, you're going to have to pay, but they want to support. It says the World Health Organization strongly supports Thailand's plan to vaccinate 50 million people by the end of the year. This vaccination plan is the best hope for improving the economy, including revitalizing tourism and returning to pre-COVID work and schooling. Mass vaccination will also reduce current and future risks from variants. I sure hope so. That's all I got to say. If you know, if I was to get vaccinated, I'm fully vaccinated, and I catch the virus, and then I die, I would be pissed. Because what's the point? You know, Dr. Sopon, I am Siri Tabon. I am Siri Waton. Man, that's hard to say. I don't know if it's Iam or Iam. I think it's probably Iam. Dr. Sopon Iam Siri Tabon, Director, Division of Communicable Diseases, Department of Disease Control, DDC, Ministry of Public Health. Why do they have to make their organization so freaking long? How about just disease control? Explain the vaccination plan. Thailand has a clear policy that everyone, including foreigners residing in Thailand, will receive the vaccine, and the budget has been planned. The top concern is to reduce severe illness and death and contain the spreading of disease. Now, I gotta say, I'm getting, vaccinated in a few days. If you don't hear from me after that, Scott Leo, means I died. It means I'm dead. So I'll have to make the video that says goodbye, everybody. It's been fun. That kind of thing, if anybody cares. Believe me, I'll say some goodbyes to my kids and to my parents, and now I'm saying my goodbyes right now, just in case. I highly doubt anything's going to happen, but you never know. So I always try to prepare. Turned out to be a beautiful lady, and I ended up marrying her. I ended up getting married to her. Well, you know what I always say? If you're going to come here and run around with the girls, that'll bring you here. It won't keep you here. Now you meet a good one, and she's a stabilizing force in your life, and she adds to your life. It will keep you here, which is what happened to me. I mean, listen, I'm pretty stable now, for the most part. Just imagine me on tequila, like, 5 shots of tequila and, half a dozen beers every night. And, I was younger. I was having fun. Things were a little different back then. I wasn't always the stablest person. I'll get married in my second life. Okay. I don't know what you're so frightened of, but I do see that you're a little older. I don't know if frightened is the right word. Hesitant. Here in Asia, if you were to marry some Asian chick, I think you'd be better off. But, I get it. You're older. You got to be careful. And like I said the other day, what you're doing is you're basically saying, I allow you into my life, and I am going to be part of your life. Which means sometimes, you might not like what's going on, or they might not like what's going on with you, and you're going to have to figure that out. Whereas if you're alone, you can do whatever you want. Now, I'm very, very lucky, because for the most part, up until a couple of years ago, my wife knew, hey, what he does is he goes out and he shoots photos, he writes about stuff, he travels in boxing. This is what he does. I know he's doing these things. It's not a problem. I'm okay with it. Now that things are a little different, I'm a little bit older, I think she worries about me, being ill like I was, with the gallbladder surgery, and she don't want me going to the Congo or, some kind of place like that. She doesn't want me doing that kind of stuff. Now, I still kind of want to. So, It's a balancing act. You have to weigh out certain things. Sinovac, what vaccine are you getting? What I've said like 30 times already. That's the vaccine I'm getting because that's the only one they offered me. All the AstraZeneca, they were either completely out or I wasn't able to get an appointment where they were giving me that. So I'll take what I can get. It's as simple as that. And one way or the other, whether I die or I have it and I get sick later on or whatever it is, I don't want to hear any shit about it. I don't want to hear any shit about it because it doesn't matter. I'm doing what I need to do right now. I'm doing what I have to do. I don't want to be in a big zoo where I bump up against the fence all the time. And that's where I am right now. Kakabarazzi will still be there. I need to get in the best shape of my life if I ever wanted to have a chance at that. And I need to make some money. And I need to make sure that Longhorns would be down with it and he's fit enough. Listen, the last month, almost a month now, the 30th is 1 month. I have been meticulous about what I eat, how I'm eating it, about what my weight is, about the exercises I'm doing, because I think the only way as an older person that I can do any of the things that I might want to do, I don't want to go, I mean, I'm not trying to climb Mount Everest, which to me is just ludicrous. If I was 25, maybe, but I don't know why I would want to do it then. I don't have that gene in me where I want to do something like that. But I don't want to be in a position where I go, that's a really strenuous trip. I don't think I can make it because I just don't have the endurance. I don't have the strength. And that's what I'm working towards right now. So we'll see. Let me see in a couple of months, 2-3 months. I should know a lot more, and I'll know how I'm feeling and how I'm looking and what kind of workouts I'm doing. I'll know, And I've always said, for me, it hasn't been about not having the knowledge. Obviously, I can always benefit from people who are experts in certain areas of fitness, but I've always had a pretty good understanding of it because I've been doing it for many years, and I've worked in boxing, and I've been around a lot of people who, I know what it takes. But for me, it's always been a mental thing. It's just laziness. It's just, why do I need to do it? And now, I don't know what happened, but something clicked. I just went, all right, it's time. And once I do that, I'm good. It's like, listen, my old lady she'll bring home some sweets, some Thai sweets or something. I'm like, why are you buying that? And she go, do you want one? I got them for the kids, and I'm going to have one. And I'm going, no, I don't want one. And she just said to me the other day, she said, I need to throw everything out that's not good for us in this house. I'm like, well, why don't you? Get on it, or I'll do it, and you won't like it. So, yeah, I still would like to do that. Obviously the COVID makes it quite a bit different. Okay, Carlos. The COVID situation makes it quite a bit different, and I need to be in better shape. I mean, really. It's not that I'm in terrible shape and couldn't handle it. It's more about the mental and the physical. And how taxing it is on you. The one thing that I do have going for me is that because I'm older and I've been through a lot of shit, some things that, really very few people know. I have some experience in being in some dicey situations, and so I feel like, hey, you just gotta figure something out no matter what. And that's where I'm at. James, how would you know that I don't try intermittent fasting? I do. I know all about it. Archie Moore, the great boxer, used to say something that I thought was funny, but it's so true. He's like, you want to lose weight? Don't put as much food in your mouth. Sometimes it breaks in, that's what it breaks down to. Just don't put as much food in your mouth. Eat healthy. Letting a lot of people in now. It's 10 o'clock. I got to go to the grocery almost every single day because, foods are running out. I always have to make sure I have certain foods. I like to have spinach. I like spinach now. Raw spinach. I cook it with almost everything. Throw it on everything. Spinach and zucchini.ไม่ได้ครับไม่ได้ล็อกเปิด11 โมงครับจะไปได้ต่อได้I don't know why. This place used to be open at 10 o'clock. Now, no more. Hasn't been open at 10 o'clock for a long time. All right, let me see what else I have here. If I can wrap this up. We're already at 63 minutes. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was an article that came out. Let me see when it was. I don't know if it was yesterday or day before yesterday. Well, early this morning. Yesterday evening in Pattaya 29. What? I don't know what they're thinking when they write this stuff. Yesterday evening in Pattaya, 29 out-of-work bar girls were taken off to the slammer by Chonburi police. Apparently, they broke COVID-19 rules as they gathered in a small area to live stream their performances for overseas customers. The entrepreneurs are allegedly filming themselves either solo or in groups as they danced and interacted with guests for virtual drinks that were redeemable as a commission. You guys want me to dance? It ain't gonna happen. I'm not a dancer. Plus, my breasts aren't big enough. However, their entrepreneurial venture was crushed when the Chonburi Special Operations Unit staged a raid. Can you imagine that? It's a raid. This is a raid. You guys are live streaming. Oh my God. To break up the alleged illicit gathering in Lamun. Chonburi police said live streaming has been increasingly popular. Imagine that, when you're not allowed to go out and you're not allowed to be in an open bar, and the bars aren't allowed to open, you gotta do what you gotta do to make a buck. So the girls are like, they're live streaming. Now, I'm sure there are many, many girls who have resorted to live streaming. They got customers, they tell one customer, next thing you know, they're doing the ping pong ball show or whatever it is, the dart show. They're getting creative. The entertainment sector has received no final financial assistance from the government, which is what I was saying the other day about how, bar owners in Pattaya are desperate now. They really need some help, and they're losing the businesses that they've worked hard to build, and they're at their wits' end. COVID-19 restrictions had decreed that all entertainment venues in Thailand were to be closed to prevent the spread of COVID-19. This has put an estimated tens of thousands in Pattaya alone out of jobs. Some estimates say that 80% of the Pattaya area's GDP comes from tourism. The women were not identified by name to the media. Police Colonel Kanawut Chongtara expressed his sympathies with the unemployed, as well as those trying to find a new source of income. However, he says that the overall issue is having small groups together without adhering to proper social distancing rules. He did not comment on the solo work or whether he was a fan of the videos. The women were taken to a local police station for further legal proceedings. Live streaming equipment was taken as evidence. Now, actually, Pattaya Bob was saying, well, it's horrible that they're arresting the downtrodden and the people who are amongst the poorest while they're just trying to make a buck like that. And what I would say is, well, if you want to have a law, and that law is supposed to be applied equally to a person or people, whether it's high so, mid so, low so, bar girls, however you want to categorize it, then unfortunately you need to apply it to those who are poverty stricken as well. Now, they have leniency and they have some flexibility. They always have that. So I don't know why they made such a big deal. All they probably had to do was just say, hey, listen, you need to separate and socially distance, and that way I don't have to arrest you. If you keep doing this and I see it again, we're going to arrest you. That's not what happened, apparently. They got arrested. So it's sad, but that's the way it goes. All right, let me see something here. We're about out of time. And I don't know if my comments are not working or nobody's just commenting. Let me see. Because I'm not getting them. It doesn't look like my window is updating here. So I'm trying to find out. What is this? Raid not needed, a little too much. Well, how about a cop comes to their... See, this is what I don't get. Some of the logic that's been applied all around the world during this pandemic has been, it's just idiotic. It's just been completely idiotic. What are you talking about? 20 people? I mean, okay, I understand that, you're worried, people are in fear, you don't want people catching the COVID, you don't want them spreading it. Okay, I understand. But how about you just give them a warning? What happened to that? Everybody's so gung-ho to arrest people. I mean, I've seen it in Australia, in the UK, in the United States. It's ridiculous. In the United States, you got the completely other end of the spectrum where people are just going in robbing places and they don't get arrested. And if it was my place, I'd be like, hey, listen, you're not allowed to rob from my store. Because if one guy robs, then what happens if 100 people rob? The guy's going to be out of business. And then what are you going to do? You going to start your own business with his stuff? I mean, I guess. Well, you don't know. They may have shown up and just knocked on the door and a couple cops went in and go, hey, we got to arrest you. They could have been nice about it. Generally what I see is, and I see this with other police forces, they just have absolutely no flexibility. They just go in and they go, listen, you guys are not social distancing, we need to arrest you. But no problem, yeah, we put masks on, No, sorry, you're arrested. Boom, end of story, let's go. I think that's probably how it went, but who knows? Anyway, that's the way it goes. Now, there are, like I said, I said at the beginning, this place is still open, although there are quite a few restrictions. I mean, the restaurants are 50% open, which means, 2 people out of 4 can sit at a table. but it's not completely open, and they are on the verge, possibly, there is a chance that they will lock Bangkok down. Depends on the next couple of days. But the Deputy Prime Minister and Public Health Minister, Anutin Charnvirakul, on Thursday gave an assurance, which does not put me at ease, that the country's public health system will not collapse despite the number of hospital beds and health personnel being at critical low levels amid soaring new COVID-19 cases. The ministry will not allow the public health system to collapse. No one should use this term. We must work together to improve the situation. All this is expressed in vague terms. And listen, even Chunky, I talked to him yesterday, and even Chunky said, it seems to me, this is what he said, not me, I didn't say it, and I don't know that I agree or not agree. I haven't really thought about it much, but he said, it seems to me that slowly but surely Thailand is losing control over this. The number of people vaccinated is very low, and the numbers are increasing very slowly. And more and more people are dying. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe. And this is the thing. What do you do when you don't know what to do? You're basically sitting there and you're in limbo, and that's where we are still after all these months. Passive screening, which has been implemented by the government since last year, has been proven not to work, and it cannot prevent infectious outbreaks. Mr. Anutin said the proposal for a lockdown is worth listening to, but it must be weighed up carefully. Now, there are some bed shortages. It says there are only 23 beds at state hospitals left for COVID-19 patients suffering severe symptoms. And this is expected to get worse if the number of new cases continues to soar at the current rate. So there you go. Pretty sad. 31 COVID fatalities and 4,108 over the past 24 hours across the country. Actually, there was 51 yesterday. So, anyway, that's about it. All right, I think we've talked this and talked about this as much as we can, and I think that only time is going to tell what's going to happen. We've been saying the same thing over for a year and a half now, almost a year and a half, a year and a few months. So just had a quick power outage, worst neighborhood I've been in for power outages. Well, we were having them every so often, every day actually, for a couple of minutes, but they've seemed to have stopped. They were fixing the water system in my area, and the water seems to be better now. They've dug up the ground, and I got to tell you, there was a woman who was on the Songtao yesterday, and she just looks at me and she goes, "You stay Thailand?" I went, "Yes," and she just went. And then this morning, I walk out of my house, and this lady is walking by, and she goes, "Oh," she had seen me before, and she goes, "Oh, you stay here, huh? You live Thailand?" And I went, "Yes." I'm like, 2 days in a row I'm being asked, "Oh, you live here?" So I don't know, they're starting to maybe get this feeling like, "Oh, the foreigner's here. He's the one foreigner I see. What's he doing here?" It's just like I was, listen, the girl here, Preo, she's 23 years old. I've been here longer, but she's been alive. Which, I find kind of funny. Anyway, it happens. It's time to go. So, thank you very much for joining me. Appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Doesn't cost you a thing. Leave a thumbs up. Go down in the description. See how you can help support the channel. And believe me, I'm getting the vaccine as soon as I can. I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to go somewhere. But I can't do it without your help. I can't do a whole lot when it comes to travel without your help. So I appreciate everybody who's donated, everybody who watches the videos and stuff like that. And I do have some new stuff coming up, different stuff coming up besides me just sitting there going over the news or whatever. So stay tuned. And that's all I have. So thank you, Longhorns, as always. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And until next time, yes, Jerkin, Spaceman. Spaceman says Jerkin. I don't want to expound on that, but my name is Scott. I am an American in Bangkok. Bangkok, to be specific. Till next time, choke D, Jerkin mine, and all that good stuff. Take care, be safe. Do what you gotta do to stay alive, all right? So thank you, and until next time.